Hello, welcome to another OnlyFans video. Today I'm answering all of your questions. I asked you on Instagram and on YouTube to leave your questions, and today I'm going to answer them. We got quite a few questions, so let's jump right into it. The first question is, what other platforms/tools do models use to earn money besides OnlyFans? And the pros and cons. This is a great question. There are tons of different platforms that you can use, like Fansly or FanView. There are literally so many platforms that are very similar to OnlyFans. The difference is that they might not be as well known as OnlyFans, so that would be a con. But the pros are that sometimes they have a lot better features. They have discover pages and the potential is really there. So that is a pro to having a platform like that. Other ways that creators on OnlyFans make money is actually using like their PayPal, their Venmo. As some of you know, OnlyFans does have a limit of how much you can make per custom or per video that you send out or whatever it is. It is $200 and then it cuts you off. You can't get a bigger tip than $200 on OnlyFans. So if someone wants to send you a bigger tip, then they can send it to your Venmo, your PayPal, your Cash App, whatever like that. So that's another way creators tend to make money. Now, I'm just kind of running through them quickly because we do have a lot of questions to answer, but there are other ways to make money as well, such as selling promo, creating videos like this. I get monetized on them for YouTube. There are plenty of ways that you can create an income in this industry in different revenue streams, and you just kind of have to figure out what works for you, what you feel passionate about. As you may or may not know from watching my videos, I do offer a mentorship program that is an online course as well as communication with me, and that is another way that I create revenue. I teach everybody how I've created a six-figure income from OnlyFans and how you can do the same thing. That's another way that you can create an income. Once you gain some knowledge, you can actually share your knowledge with others. So yes, there are plenty of ways that you can create multiple revenue incomes, and something that I would highly recommend is putting your money that you make from OnlyFans into other businesses. Create other streams of income because you never know what could happen. Prepare for the future and always have other places where your money can be coming in, and use that money to create other investments and stuff like that. How to stand out with so many creators on the platform. You rock. Love from Argentina. So much love. So in today's day and age, the internet is very different than when YouTube first started out, or even when OnlyFans started out. It is very, very different, and what I would say is you do have to still have a niche. Platforms like TikTok, the niche thing isn't as relevant because each video is kind of its own entity, so you don't really have to have as much of a niche. You still have to have kind of an identity, but you don't have to niche down. But on YouTube and on platforms like OnlyFans, I think having a niche can be very important to help you stand apart from other people. So if you have something that's very especially you, it helps you stand out from the crowd. I mean, obviously there's tons of different types of content you can make on OnlyFans, but say you do pole dancing, you can add something that kind of makes it unique to you. So you do pole dancing in maybe a certain type of costume that really brands you as a creator. Anything to really brand you as like a business. That is how you want to look at your OnlyFans. How can I make this a business? How can I make it look like it's an identity, it's a person? Like, think about like Apple. Every time you walk into an Apple store, you know that you're in an Apple store, and it's not like they're doing anything different than any other company. They're just branded very, very well. So that's why you know you're in an Apple store when you're in an Apple store. It's the same thing. You just want to brand yourself. How to stay creative when making content. So I made a whole content video. If you want any content ideas, you can check out that video here. I would say look at other creators and see what they're doing, get inspired, get ideas. Don't obviously just do what other people are doing, but take those ideas and make them your own. Like I said, brand it to your own identity. Take something that someone else is doing and make it you. Other ways to get creative is asking your viewers what they like to see. There's a poll option on OnlyFans that allows you to ask questions and see what your viewers like. Ask them and start creating content that they like. Free page versus a sub page, or both. I have both. I think that it is helpful if you have the time and energy to put into both. If you don't, then have one. It doesn't matter if you have a paid page or a free page, you can still make a lot of money. I know some girls that have their full income coming from a free page. It just depends on how you sell your content, because obviously you can still sell locked content on a free page. You're just not getting a subscription price. But honestly, I know plenty of girls that make a huge income with a free page. So really it's up to you. And if you do want to have both like I do, you just have to make sure you have enough time for both, because I will say one thing that I don't have a lot of time for is my free page. But if you do, I think it can be very helpful, because in the beginning when I was using my free page as kind of a marketing tool, it was creating its own income and generating new subs to my paid page. If you have the time and effort to do it, I would say go for it. If you don't, just focus your time on what you do have time for and build that one up. Would you ever consider doing giantess fetish customs for your site? Sure. I know this is not a question about OnlyFans, but I wanted to add it in because I want to share something with you that I think in the beginning would have been helpful for me to know. Be open to trying different fetish stuff. Obviously do what makes you feel comfortable, but there are tons of things that you can do that are nothing to do with being nude. Like this, giantess fetish custom. And there's also like feet stuff and literally plenty of other types of fetish content. So honestly, ask your subs what they want to see and they will tell you, and you can actually create a lot of really cool different types of content that obviously can get you thinking creatively and kind of use that to create your other content as well. So I just started my channel. I have 42 subs, but how do I get them to spend? They just want to talk. One thing that I really do push is answering every single message. I think that's important to cultivate a relationship with your followers and really build a good connection with them so that they want to keep coming back and tipping. But you don't have to spend all your time talking to people who are not spending money on your page. I send them a message here and there, but it doesn't mean that I have to be on there messaging all day long and answering, all day long. I message back when I can to those people. And then the people that spend, I spend more time cultivating that relationship with them. So what I would recommend is cutting back on how often you're responding to the people that are not spending, but also let them know, like, hey, if you add more tips or if you get my customs, I'll be able to spend more time with you. Just being open and honest is totally fine, and people will respect that on OnlyFans. Obviously, there's gonna be those people that don't, but for the most part, I feel like people on OnlyFans really get it. They get that you're a human being and that your time is valuable. And that's why they're there paying for the subscription, and they're not just like on a regular site. What do you think about OF agencies? This is something that I've gone back and forth about for a long time. I get messages all the time asking to join their agencies and this and that. And to be honest, a lot of them feel very scammy. I have talked on my podcast with Bentley, who is actually signed to an agency, and it's been very helpful to her. So I've heard very positive things, but at the end of the day, I don't feel comfortable giving up my OnlyFans to an agency just because they have to have all your login information and all of that to actually run your OnlyFans. And I just don't think it's the best idea unless you know for a fact like that, the contracts are in place and that your stuff is all safe. I just personally don't feel comfortable with it. But I'm not bashing it for those girls who have said that it works for them and that it makes them a lot of money. I just maybe haven't found the right agency yet. So don't take any agency tips from me because I don't know. I'd love to just chat with other OF girls that can relate to me. Where's a good place for that? I find a lot of creators and creator friends on either TikTok or Twitter. In the beginning, it was a lot of Twitter because Twitter was really where everybody was at. I feel like nowadays, obviously with everything going on with Twitter, it's not the same as it used to be, but you can find girls really anywhere, like on any social media platforms, and just connect with them, message them. I recommend finding somebody that's in your follower count because then they are more likely to respond. You can also ask girls if they're in any engagement groups. That way you can connect with a bunch of different girls. And in some of the engagement groups that I've been in, girls will talk about other things as well as not just OnlyFans. They really get to know each other. That's where you can kind of find other people to connect with.
I'm leaving now.
Hurry up, get out of here.
Love you.
I love you. What do you recommend to price pay-per-view videos and pics as a newbie? This is a question I get a lot. It's really up to you. I know girls that price their content extremely high and get a lot of people buying, but personally, I would recommend staying anywhere between, for say a video, anywhere between a minute to 3 minutes, and then that content being priced out anywhere from $5 to $35. I feel like that's comfortable. I feel like that's consistent across most girls' pages. I feel like that is pretty normal for most girls, but again, I can only speak for my experience because I have heard other girls pricing their stuff at $200 for like a minute-long video and that working out perfectly fine. But I always think the lower your prices are, the more people are gonna pay for them, and then the more money you are gonna generate. If you think about it this way, one video at $200 and one person buying it isn't gonna make you as much money as one video priced at $10 with 200 people buying it. Do you see what I'm saying? If it's more affordable to more people will buy it. And I feel like that is how I would price my content. I also charge more for custom videos. So videos that I just send out in pay-per-view messages, I price them, like I said, anywhere from $5 to, I don't go over $25, but I'll say $35, anywhere from $5 to $35. I send my pay-per-view messages out. But for custom videos, I charge per minute because I have to actually go out of my way and make those specific pieces of content for them. Anywhere from $15 to $25 per minute for custom videos. And then for pictures, my pictures are all on my page. So I don't really charge for pictures unless they want certain custom pictures. And then I charge anywhere from $3 to $15 per picture. I feel like that's pretty average for the industry, but it's really up to you. I also recommend testing things out because your price point might be different than somebody else's based on the followers that you have. So I always like to test things out. Sometimes I go a little higher, sometimes I go a little lower and see who buys what. Do you have any irrational fears? And I don't know if this question was meant specific to OnlyFans or if they were just asking in general, but I'm gonna relate it to OnlyFans. I think in the beginning of my OnlyFans journey, I had an irrational fear that I was going to be judged in a way that would change my life. People are going to judge, but it is not going to change your life as long as you don't let it. Like, you have to be strong enough to be like, this is who I am. I don't really care what anyone thinks and everything should be fine. Hopefully that advice helps somebody else out who is really wanting to do this, but completely worried about what people will think. It won't change your life, I promise you. No one really says anything to your face, to be honest. And if they do, it's honestly more awkward for them than you. What advice would you give to no-face creators? Brand yourself, market yourself, make yourself a business. There are so many creators. And on top of that, there are so many no-face creators. I wanna be hard on you right now because you need to hear this if you're gonna be a no-face creator. Your pictures are gonna look generic. Your pictures are gonna look like anybody else's pictures unless you do something that stands out. You can't just post a booty pic and think that anyone is gonna care. No one is gonna care unless you make them care. And that doesn't mean that there isn't a place for you. Like, there is 100% room for everybody and you can 100% do it, but you need to be making creative content that nobody is seeing. You need to think outside of the box. Anyone can find a booty picture on the internet. So why are they looking at your booty picture? Why are they paying for your booty picture or whatever else you're doing, you know? And you have to think about it like feet pages. Feet pages don't show anyone's face normally, but what makes them unique, what makes them different is the stuff that they're doing with their feet. You have to think about it like that. What can I do that's just going to stand out, that's going to be different? How can I brand myself? How can I be that Apple store of no-face creators? And you also have to still be on social media. You need to come up with a clever name and get that across all platforms. Make sure that you have like your username and it all is the same. You have your picture, it's all the same so that people know who you are. Hopefully that's helpful. I know no one wants to hear that they're generic, but at the end of the day, we are all very much similar. So we have to do things that make us unique. And that's what it's all about. How do I know I'm not giving too much or not enough as a creator? This is always dependent on you. I know some people that don't do any like type stuff, I know, and they do very well. And I know a lot of people that do all the stuff and they put it all on their wall. So it really is dependent on you, whatever you feel comfortable doing, whatever you find that your fans are like engaging with and liking. Obviously make sure that stuff is sacred and like special for them, but also that they're getting enough of it that they want to stay. I think it's all about learning and figuring out what works for your page and your type of customer. All about testing things out. When I first started, I was just doing bikini pictures and I was making a good amount of money, but I wanted to do something more. And so then that's when I branched out. And now what I do is I do like nude pictures, and then I do videos and that type of thing in my pay-per-view messages. And you can do really whatever you want. You can do bikini pictures and then nude pictures in your messages if that works for you. Or you can do a completely like open page where it's you just pay for the subscription and everything else is unlocked. So it's really up to you, and it depends on your page and what you want to do with it. And you can make a lot of money in many different ways. Do people actually post nude pictures or just lingerie and bikini pictures? People post nudes, and people do more than nudes. You know, people do on the site. So yes, it's an open place, but it doesn't mean everyone's doing it. It doesn't mean everyone's doing nudes. But yes, there are people that do that. And I would say most of the people who say they do OnlyFans are doing probably nude content. Majority. That doesn't mean everyone. Do you need a following before starting an account? You don't need one before, but you are going to need to build your social media platforms. It doesn't need to be your personal one. You can make a completely separate one and not use your phone number so it's not connected if you don't want people to see it, whatever. Although people are going to know. I'm just putting that out there. People are going to find it. People are going to figure it out. So you have to be open if you want to do this. This is a career that is going to be found out eventually. But do you need a following before? No, but you're gonna need one. Does having other creators promote you really help gain subs, and do you do them? I feel like there's so many scams out there now. I agree, there are tons of scams. What I would recommend is using sites like Shoutout Express, and I use Shoutout Express personally. I think it's a great way to do it, but also another way to not get scammed is, well, first of all, it depends on what your definition of scammed is, because just because you don't get followers from one person that you buy promo from doesn't mean that it was a scam. Their followers might not be into you. Like, I hate to break it to you, but that's just the truth. Not all followers are going to be into you, and you just have to find where your people are, where your followers are. Don't get discouraged by if you buy promo and it doesn't work out the first time. You have to find somebody that looks like you, somebody that makes content like you, someone that has a certain style of talking like you, or whatever it might be. Like, you want to find somebody that you already know their following is going to be into you. Don't get discouraged by that. But as far as scams go, I know there's a lot of people out there that'll message you on Instagram and be like, buy my promo, buy my promo, buy my promo, or like swap, blah, 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 swap pages with me. Those are probably scams on Instagram. If they're begging you to buy promo from them, like, they're not real. That is a scam. But if you want legit, solid, real promo, you can either find those girls like on YouTube. You can find those girls, like real people that you know are real, that are doing this. You can look at their page and see that they're a creator. You can see that they have likes on their page and all of that. That's already visible to everybody if you go to their OnlyFans. So just make sure you're doing your research before buying promo for someone. And then find those girls and ask them if they do promo. Another way is to, again, buy promo from Shoutout Express. It's verified people, and it's a great way to know that you're actually getting what you're paying for. And a lot of those girls are huge on there, and they have thousands and thousands of followers. How do you ask subs who take your time and don't tip pay up without making things awkward? Okay, so I think I kind of already touched on this one. Basically just say, hey, I can spend more time on you if you buy some of my content, or if you send me some tips, and then give them a little kissy lips or something like that, and respond when you have time. Don't respond every single hour. Make them wait a little bit. Make them sweat. Ask if they want some customs. How to move your audience or attention you have on Reddit to OnlyFans. I personally don't know how to use Reddit. I've said it before. Unfortunately, that is not something I can teach. But what I would say is all you can do is get as many eyes to your page as possible, whether that's Reddit, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, whatever it is. Get as many eyes as you possibly can, and your job is done. If they want to pay for your OnlyFans, they will find it, as long as it's linked somewhere. They will find it. You don't need to go in and message every single person and say, follow me on OnlyFans, follow me on OnlyFans. That feels very like pushy, scammy. Nobody wants that. Get as many eyes to you as possible and let it happen. Don't push it. Just be very obvious that you have one and the people will convert. How to go from a free page to a subscription page, like what to say to your fans, pricing and stuff like that. So make sure you're offering something to the fans that you already have. Like if you're about to switch over, I would say send everyone a gift. Be like, I'm switching over. Here's a free gift. Please stay with me. If you have your renew on, then, or renew or rebill. I don't know what it says for everybody, but if you have that on, then I will be sending you a free piece of content every month for staying with me. Like, just offer your subscribers something and tell them that you're switching over to a paid page and that you really appreciate their support. Just be real honest with them, and don't be afraid if you lose subscribers. You're gonna lose subscribers. Just keep growing, keep gaining. Again, get as many eyes to you as possible. How to promote your TikTok and IG without getting banned. Ooh, girl. Instagram, I'm getting used to. TikTok, what is going on? TikTok is very hard not to get banned. What I would say is, again, get as many eyes to you as possible. Be sexy without being too revealing. Don't be too obvious. Don't use words or hashtags that have anything to do with OnlyFans or like anything sexual at all. That is what I would recommend. If you're gonna talk about OnlyFans, say it in a way that has nothing to do with OnlyFans. You know, say, you know, that secret site or like whatever. Like anything that has nothing to do with OnlyFans. No OF, no nothing like that. You secret site, my special spot, you know what I'm talking about. You know, just make it like very obvious without being obvious. Make sexy posts like, look at, I have a cute top on, but I'm fully covered right now. TikTok cannot ban me. So stuff like this would work. Doing little dancey dances, whatever. See what other girls are doing. To not get banned, make sure you're not using hashtags and not saying anything to do with OnlyFans. And IG, I would say, make sure you're not using hashtags that you can't use. Like if you can't search up that hashtag, there's no pictures there, then don't use that hashtag. Don't leave your OnlyFans link in the bio. In TikTok, Instagram, none of that. Always use a separate link that goes to somewhere else first. So something like Linktree or any of that, and make sure it's locked within Linktree that says sensitive content. Shoot prep advice you wish you would have known sooner. This is an interesting question. I said recently in my day in the life of an OnlyFans creator video that I like to set up all my outfits before I do my shoots. So the reason I do that is because if I just leave all my outfits inside the bin and I just take out one at a time, I end up doing less than I actually wanted to do in the first place. Like if I wanted to get 7 days worth of content, I would probably only get 2 or 3 days if I left everything in the bin and I just had to sort through it every single time I needed to do an outfit change. Whereas if I take out 7 outfits and I'm like, okay, I'm doing these outfits today, these are the ones I have to do, and I set a toy out next to each one of them, I set up my camera, I get everything ready to go before having to shoot, then I'm able to get my shit done. Another thing that I would recommend is setting aside about 4 hours or so a week to do that. Having a schedule is what helps you stay consistent and what helps you get your job done. Whereas if you're just like, oh, you know, I'll do it on Tuesday, maybe, and then Tuesday comes around and you decided to go out with your friends instead. You need to have a consistent schedule. You need to think of this as a business, and so prepare it like if it was a shoot with a photographer. You know, schedule things out, plan it, get your camera set up, get your lighting perfect, get your outfits cute, you know, get ready, feel good about yourself. That is what I would recommend for shoot days. And also know what you're gonna do for each outfit. For the first outfit, I'm gonna do a strip tease. For the second outfit, I'm gonna do a twerking video. For the third outfit, I'm gonna do this or that. You know what I mean? My videos are a lot more raunchy than what I just said. I just was trying to be like PG for YouTube. Once you're already in the top 2%, how do you keep growing? Like I've plateaued at 1.8. Is there something I could do, or is there any social media platforms, etc.? So if you're not already, you should be on all social media platforms and just keep pushing your stuff. Again, more eyes, more opportunity, more money. I hit 1.8, I think 1.5 to 2 years ago, and I made a video all about it. And I was so excited, but after that month, I had a hard time staying consistent at 1.8. I felt the same way, that I was fluctuating in between that range. And what I needed to do was get off my ass and start thinking at a higher level. What more was I missing? What was I not doing that those people at 0.5 were doing. And what you needed to do is branch out. Whatever you weren't doing then, you need to start doing now. If, like you said, is there other social media platforms? Think outside of the box. Are there other social media platforms? Do you have a Snapchat? Do you have even a dating app like a Tinder? Are you doing certain types of marketing tactics that you weren't doing before? I was able to surpass certain levels when I was able to think outside of the box. And that's when I started doing more YouTube videos. That's when I started to do different marketing tactics, all the same social media platforms, but how can you use them in a different way? How can you make marketing opportunities for yourself? Start researching marketing and see what you can do. That was the last question I got. Hopefully this was a helpful Q&A for you. If you have any other questions, please leave them down below. And also be sure to check out my mentorship program. It's an online course as well as a mentorship combined. It is linked down below so that you can get started. You get full communication with me, and then you also get this online course that has everything that I know and can teach you about creating a 6-figure online OnlyFans business. And it goes into depth all about different social media platforms as well. So I know a lot of my students want to do YouTube, they want to do TikTok and things like that. So if you have any questions about that as well, it is all included in that mentorship program. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.